I'm so excited about this next guest for our Black History Month History Makers series, highlighting and honoring Black women owned brands and businesses. And this series is really just to help inspire and help you all learn more about these amazing businesses that are ran by strong Black women that you can support both this month as well as, of course, beyond. And this week we are joined by no other than LaRitta Webb, the founder of The Profit Nerd. The Profit Nerd creates operational efficiencies in growing businesses. LaRitta is thebomb.com. She is a two-time engineer and a supply chain expert, helping businesses get their back end all the way together. And if you are someone like me who really just kind of understood what supply chain really is, just like in the recent years, it's basically everything in the back end to get a product from wherever it originated to the customer's hands. And it is a lot in between those two parts. Many people know about the stat of Black women being the largest or I should say the fastest growing segment of entrepreneurs and business owners. So if you are watching this, you probably are a business owner or you at least know a business owner. And you know, as sexy as the products themselves are and as glamorous as the products themselves are, the supply chain is really just as instrumental and as important as the products themselves, because if the customers can't get it, it's no good, it's pointless. So I am so happy to have LaRitta on today to tell us a little bit more about what she does and how she's been able to give her expertise to not only Glow by Daye, but to so many other businesses. And we'll first start off by asking LaRitta herself, when and why did you start your business?
So when you actually, Renee, are an integral part of me starting. So I have been in supply chain, industrial engineering, and mechanical engineering. That's my background for almost 20 years now. And so when I saw the segment of businesses and specifically, you know, people of color, women of color, really scaling and growing at very, very rapid rates, I saw there was opportunity there, and I didn't really know how to help or how to bring my skill sets to market. And it was actually a conversation talking to you, talking to some other members of our Launch and Grow group that really helped me kind of put the pieces together to say, like, you know what, I'm going to just go for it. And, you know, Glow by Daye was my first client, helping and assisting with some inventory management. And it was really a conversation. I battled a lot with, you know, my passion with health and fitness and, you know, my skill set in this technical space of supply chain. You know, do I do one or the other? And it was one conversation I'll never forget we had, and you told me, like, do both. Like, give us all of these things, give all your gifts. Like, the world needs all of them. God didn't give you just one, you know, we need them all. And so when that conversation gave me so much confidence to just say, you know, go for it. And, you know, the other thing, honestly, I had gone through a divorce and I didn't have the mental capacity to really receive like ideas and what to do with my business, like how to put all the pieces together. But it was from Launch and Grow, that conversation with you. And at that moment, it like clicked and came together. And I was just like, okay, I'm gonna go for it and do it. And so that's when, like, the birth of, you know, you being my first client, I just kind of went for it and said, okay, I knew I wanted to use all my years of experience and operation to really help small growing enterprises scale just to be just as efficient as, you know, Fortune 100 and 500 companies. I felt like they can compete in those spaces. They just need like some operational efficiencies that we just don't know about. So.
Yeah, and that's the part that I think really that's why your business can be so impactful to so many people, because, you know, that part of that back end is everything. I mean, it really impacts if you are able to take it to the next level. Even if you do have an amazing offer, you have to make sure your margins are correct. You have to make sure that everything is aligning in the back end just as much as the front end. And that's what I'm just so proud of you being able to take what you have. And I think so many other women are in the similar situation where it's like, okay, I have this experience, I have this knowledge, I have this skill set, and I know I want to branch out and do things on my own, whether that's even just like I want to be a freelancer, or I want to start a team and do this, with my own firm. And it's like that notion of, well, can I do it? Right. And I know there's a lot of women in that, and I want to say women, but it's both men and women, honestly. But I know, I think in my circle, there are women that have that amazing experience and expertise that are working for these high-level companies, but there's a gap when it comes to stepping out and doing it on their own. Right. But that's one of the most remarkable things about this growing segment of women that, honestly, we have a lot of ideas, but if we could come together and collaborate more and do these things together, think of the potential, think of what we could be in bringing all of our efforts together and all of our knowledge together. Yes. So that's amazing.
I feel like, it's just that we don't know what we don't know. A lot of things about there's so many, amazing ideas and businesses that have scaled like crazy, just on their own. And so it's literally, we don't know what we don't know. And so you have many of us, like you said, that have been in these corporate spaces, that have given all this blood, sweat, tears, all these years, trying to prove our worth, trying to have a seat at that table and prove our experience and ideas, and get, quite frankly, burnt out. And you come into this other space of entrepreneurs that need your level of expertise, right? They're open to it. And that's where the gap is filled. And like you said, it's just like value sharing. When we come together like that, you realize, oh wait, okay, you legit have you're an expert in this. You have over 10 years of experience of really, really doing this at a high level. And all these other businesses need this. They're just in multiple different industries, but it's the same skill set that they need, and they just don't know. So I think that's been such a huge blessing that I've seen.
I love it. Who would you say is your biggest, is or was your biggest inspiration?
Oh, good. I mean, honestly, it's my biggest inspiration. It has been, I said this, it's been these Black Girl Magic Circles is what I call them. And there are these women, I would say these women in Launch and Grow, these entrepreneurs that are so aggressive with their goals and ambition, and I just feed off of that. I'll give an example, you and Gina, we're all from Gary, Indiana. And for those that don't know, that's where Michael Jackson is from, but it's very, it's not a very inspirational, city to live in. And so when I see, women like you have navigated that space and seen such success at our age, it's extremely inspirational. My dad is, I've been an entrepreneur my whole entire life. So I know his grit, his drive, his perseverance, his you're not going to tell me no attitude. I definitely get that from him. And even the technical part of my mom being a nurse, that drive, I think there's so many just women in my family that are truly entrepreneurs, and women that I've intentionally surrounded myself around, that I feed off of that energy from, that are so, inspirational for me.
What has been your biggest achievement in your business thus far?
Oh, biggest achievement. I think my biggest achievement has been proving I am truly living the life I desire. I love to travel. I don't know how my family and all this thing is going to come into play, but I had this thing is like, I want to travel every month. I want to go out the country every month. Being able to live the life that I want, and it's authentic, and I have to apologize, for that. Working with the type of clients that I truly desire to work with, and being appreciated in those spaces, and developing like really, really everlasting relationships in those spaces. I think those are some of like the things that I truly appreciate. That's the biggest thing for me right now.
I love it. I love it. What's one of the biggest things that what's one of the biggest challenges, I would say, that you've had in business, and how have you overcome that? Or even if you're still in the midst of overcoming it, what is like that biggest challenge?
I think the biggest challenge is understanding how to navigate entrepreneurship. Even though I came from, a family full of entrepreneurs and my father, I think still coming to this space, you being unprepared for like the mental and emotional roller coaster ride you can literally be on, like on a daily basis, weekly basis. And, there's one thing about like the journey of life, right? That alone will send you down emotional roller coasters. But I think entrepreneurship is its own beast. And you literally have so many stressors and anxiety and emotions that you truly have to like have a strong self-awareness, a strong like support system in many different circles in spaces, whether it's like multiple Black girl magic circles, like my family, multiple people to call and laugh, like to hold you accountable, to step away, like, and understanding what you need to service and like give yourself self-care. So I think the biggest, like I would say, struggles are navigating entrepreneurship itself and giving myself grace. One other thing is I feel like being a woman of color and a minority as an entrepreneur too, we carry a lot of weight of like, we can't fail, right? And so like, or it's like, it's only me. And so because of that, you don't want to make a mistake. Oh my goodness, I got to send this email. Oh my goodness, I can't let this opportunity pass. And again, it's like learning to give myself grace in this process and in this space. Coming from like a world of highly male dominating white male technical field for like 20 years, I was already operating in that space, right? And so that wasn't a nurturing environment. And so coming into here, I bring that as well. And so trying to like release that, understand I am enough. It's all like the mental stuff. It's not about, oh shoot, how do I get this bank loan? Like those type of things. I feel like with my support systems and resources, we gonna figure it out. Like we will navigate it and figure it out. But it's the mental aspect of entrepreneurship. It's the weight of, what do they call that? When you don't think you're enough, and you really
imposter syndrome.
Yes, exactly. So battling some things like that, I think that's some of the biggest battles.
Yeah, I think that's a lot. I hear that I feel like that's a constant theme that I've been hearing. And two of the things that you said that I think is, if anyone is experiencing that uncertainty or doubt or impossible, whatever you want to call it, whatever name you want to give to it, the things that could be a solution to that is celebration and grace.
Yes.
And I heard you say both of those, that, learning to celebrate the wins, as small as or as big as they might be, learning to celebrate and live and be grateful in that, as well as having the grace to say, I don't know this. And
it's okay.
And it's okay. But I know somebody that does. Or even if I don't know somebody that does, I know somebody does know this. I just probably just need to connect with them. you know, so
And I
it's
think like
simplifying it that way.
And I think, yeah, and that's the importance of like your circles around you, because we get in our own head, right? So like you need somebody to talk to at times to be like, wait a minute, do you realize what you just did? Like, I'm gonna tell you about yourself. I'm gonna tell you, like, hold on. I'm going to really check you and
which
tell
we
you
do
about
that
yourself.
to each other a lot.
Yes. Right. And that's what you need. That's what you absolutely need, those pockets of friends and spaces to celebrate you, because we don't, you, like I said, high achiever, there's just a lot on your shoulders, and so you forget, you know, you legit forget, and then other people are not celebrating you either. Like, especially I would say like the industry I came from, that just doesn't happen. So you need other people to be like, hold on, do you realize what you just did? And that's that's not normal. Like I understand where we want to go, but that's not average by no means.
What is one mantra you keep in mind to keep going?
And I'm going to quote the scripture wrong, but it's basically saying, when everything is bad, when something happens when it's bad, and when something happens when it's good, God is always working for my good, right? So whether it looks bad or whether it looks good, all things happen for my good. All things, like everything is happening for my good. You have to just say it even when you don't believe it. It gives me a sense of like peace and stability. So
I love it. Well, I want to thank you again so much, LaRitta. You already know how much you mean to me, because I'm telling y'all, supply chain, that's where it's at. Okay, if you don't this is the person to connect with. If you have a business, like I said, or if you know someone that has a business, supply chain is equally as important as the product itself. So if it's something that's new to you and you want to connect with someone that's an expert in this space and that is passionate about seeing, like she said, seeing her sisters grow. And it's not just sisters, but I know for a fact she's very passionate about helping Black women really understand the space and really optimize their businesses to scale the way that we should. And I want to thank you, LaRitta, for being the light that you are in this world and the support that you are to Glow by Daye.
Thank you. This has been wonderful. I appreciate it.